Gertrude, and I'm here with...
Hi guys, I'm Zita, and you're welcome to For My Business.
FAW, Faith and Works My Business, is a podcast that delves into the intersection of career, business, and
relatable stories. So I want to bring you into our lifestyle. I want to share with you our everyday work with each other and God.
Because it will be good. Disclaimer, we're not preachers.
We're not pastors.
We're not missionaries.
We're not evangelists. We're just two young ladies who want to share.
Welcome back. Today's an amazing day, and we want to take inspiration from the story of Joseph in the book of Genesis from 37 right up to 50. And we titled this episode From Pit to Pinnacle. How do you go from grass to grace? How do you go from being thrown into the pit to becoming the governor in a great nation, to the point of saving a nation, saving your family? And we have two amazing guests who have been we're so honored by their presence, and they're two great people. Our first guest is Miss Sharon Berry, who is a learning and development champion, and she's all about ensuring that the people around her grow. When you're with these ladies, either you grow or you grow, because you must grow. That's the only option. That's the only option you have. And she has this amazing way of holding people's hands and lifting them up. And personally, for me, it's always been like, I've learned this. You should take a read of this. And she also introduced me to the Bible Project. For those of you who don't know, the Bible Project is, if you want to know about God but you don't know where to start from, the Bible Project is an amazing place to start, because they give you the stories, before the stories, and it's so exciting to listen to, it's so exciting to watch. You should check that out. So she's here. We're so happy to have her here to talk about how you can grow your career and how you can develop personally, taking inspiration from the story of Joseph. And we have another amazing guest. You want to do us the honor?
Okay, so yes, we have, and this time around is a guy, so it's like we're gonna have like a mixture.
Yes.
So we'll take it from the perspective of a lady and then from the perspective of a guy. Yeah. So we're talking about Mr. Fungun Chofon. He has really helped me as far as professionalism is concerned. He is a good example of what a leader should be. So he is a senior account manager, and he is doing, the account certification, this thing that they do to become a accountant. Yes, I'm aspiring. But yes, he's into doing that, and I want to say that he's going to really help us to throw more light on what professionalism is all about and what challenges are all about, and how we can become Joseph, from the dreamer to Joseph to being the governor.
Yes. Yeah. And so those are the people you're going to be viewing today on this episode. Okay? Welcome back. And here we have our guest. Welcome, guys. We're so grateful that you took out time to come and join us on this episode of For My Business, and we're happy, and we know that our conversation is gonna be So we have our conversation is divided into 4 points, and the first one being about Joseph's dreams and his relationship with his family, and the significance of his early life challenges and how that shaped his character. We're going to begin with you, Miss Sharon Berry, aka Lady B.
You're not doing AKAs, okay?
You're not doing AKA.
Okay.
So when Joseph was young, he had a dream, and he went to his brothers. He told them the dream. They were like, so you're going to tell us that you're going to be more than us, blah, blah, blah. He told his dad. His dad was like, so you're telling me, your dad, that I'm going to bow to you? Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah.
And sometimes in our lives, we get that. You know what the Lord has told you, but people will just come and underestimate you and make you feel little or make you feel less of yourself. How do you deal with moments like that?
I think so that's about your value, how you see yourself. I think it's almost unheard of to expect that everyone would believe in your vision, because it's your vision. Everyone has their internal engineering and they have their perspective in life. So for me, it's almost a given that people are meant to doubt you. And just because you know it's a given doesn't mean it's easy. Like when I started my career, it was it was challenging, and back then I really had no coping mechanism, and I used to wallow in self-pity. I would second guess myself in everything because I feel like, oh, I can do this, but why am I being overlooked in this? Why is this next person getting the job? Like, I have spent hours and hours doing this, but why does the next person get all the accolades, all the awards? And I later on learned that it's not just about doing the work. Okay. It's not just about having the vision.
I should take notes.
I should. It's about putting in the work to get people's buy-in. Okay. It's not he who always does the work that will get the reward. It's the person who can project what they're doing.
Project what you're doing.
Yes. Good is not good enough. It's like, okay, I can do this, but how do you market yourself? How do you make someone believe? You can have the vision, but you need to take out the time to build the skills you have to a place where people galvanate towards you. That's what makes a successful athlete from an aspiring athlete. Someone puts in the work. Of course, obstacles will come, but your vision and your passion should be stronger than the obstacles, because that's only what will propel you forward.
So if I'm Joseph, and I come, my father, my mother, and my siblings, not the people sponsoring me in school, I can't tell me, nah, I'm seeing myself as a president. I'm seeing myself governor in Egypt. And then I want to not be able to continue and be like, so I've not heard of me, let me just continue working on my dream. Is that what you're trying to tell us?
So, your dream, it takes people to build a village. Okay, right? And you either get the support from your immediate family or you build a support network. Right. When I started my career and I had a lot of pushback and obstacles, I earlier said that I wallowed a lot in self-pity, but I have been fortunate to meet mentors who were able to cultivate what I had in me, who were able to say, see, feedback, especially negative feedback, it's something you can choose to look at as an opportunity for development. Right. You need to you don't take it personal. You need to grow from this. And if we're being honest as young professionals, sometimes we think we know, but we really do not know. Because as an adult now, I can introspect in my life and go back to when I thought, oh, this person was being such a huge obstacle, such an adversary, and I honestly can appreciate some of the points they were raising. But back then, in that small tinted mirror, because it's this passion, oh, I can do this, I can do this, I can talk. Everybody, let's look at mainstream social media right now. Everyone is doing podcast, content creation. No matter but are people taking out the time? Are people taking out the time to build the communication skills, the IT skills, the marketing skills that they need to? Or is it just about, I have a passion, that's it. I'm going to pick a camera tomorrow and I'm going to start shooting. And then when your brother or sister says, you're not good at that, you say, they are an obstacle, they hate me.
Right.
We're village people. And in the corporate ecosystem, there's a lot of pushback you will face. We're individuals and everyone's almost self propelling. Like if you do the job and you don't know how to market it, and I'm your manager and your boss, and sorry, I walk into a meeting and I'll say, I did this. That's how the corporate system works. Like, don't be idealistic about it. People are trying to sell themselves better. So it's about how you build that. You're taking this vision that you have. There's a vision, there is a passion, there is innate skills. Okay. We're not talented in everything we're passionate about.
True.
Good point. We're not talented in everything we're passionate about. So we need to actually be able to dissect it and go to, okay, where does my vision, my passion, and my talent, where do they come together? And that's when you actually build a goal. Yes, okay, I want to be president of Cameroon. at this age, I'm in my 30s.
We are already.
I want to be president of Cameroon in the next 5 years. That's the mission I'm telling you. I've never been in politics. I do not know the ecosystem in Cameroon. I have not built the networks that I need to. Why do I think people should just buy into that dream? Like the Bible makes it seem as if Joseph's brothers and father were just being mean. But let's be realistic. Look at that story again. If your brother were to wake up one day, the last sibling, highly favored by your dad, right? And he says, I have a dream that one day all of you are going to bow down to me.
I'm not sure I'll know. I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
At that point in time, what did Joseph have that could make his brothers actually believe in his dream? I was reading something yesterday ahead of this, and a preacher said something really keen about the multicolored coat that Joseph got. If you go back into in that era, people who wore long coats, what was that? They were not actually cultivating. They were not taking care of the cattle. And that's why his brothers could be somewhere working, and he was home with his dad. And they had to send him to give food. He was not working. The man was lazy. He was staying home with his dad.
I think he was this kind of sibling, like,
and he did a lot. He worked his brothers a lot. So this person who is your favorite?
I think that's maybe one of the reasons why he had the boldness to come and say, Daddy, Mommy, all of you guys should bow down, because he was already favored. And So in that context, was it really possible for his brothers to see that bigger picture? But should that have stopped him?
No.
Okay.
If God now does put a passion in you, should external factors stop you? Or should the driving force in you, remember what scriptures, lean not on your own understanding, but on his own? When we get certitude, and for me that's where religion and career merges, because when you have that fervent desire in you and you are so certain that this was put in me by God, this is my purpose here on earth, it's what elevates you, it's what drives you, that builds you, that despite those rejections that you receive, and you would receive rejections, believe me, let nobody ever lie to you about that. No matter how talented you are, no matter how passionate you are, there is someone that will never see your worth. You could, I think even right now, who's the most famous person in the world? I can guarantee you that there's someone that does not see their worth.
Right.
There is no way in existence that there will be an individual that everybody will unanimously
even
say.
Jesus.
Right.
And he died for us.
Exactly.
But like, people don't even notice it, but then, okay.
Notice it right now. So you see, so for me, your adversary is something I have learned to expect, but I've also learned to harness into something that works for me. I generally say in work that I thrive under pressure. I thrive with challenges. For me, when you put a hurdle in my way, it just gives me the break I need to step back and go, okay, what am I doing? At this juncture in my life, what am I doing? Where do I want to go? And how do I need to get to that place? For me, it's really, I'm not saying it makes it any easier, but the three things I've learned is you really need to be honest with yourself and balance it out. Find a way that works for you.
So as a young professional, be honest with yourself. Trust your vision, but don't allow the country already.
And get the skills that are necessary.
Get the skills
to get it going. And I want to, when you're starting, like you said, people will doubt you, and there's a time when you have to prove to them that you can do it by actually getting the skill and actually showing them that, hey, this is it. But still, there are challenges. How she handles it is just like, okay, she takes a step back and, okay, where do I want to go from here? How did you handle challenges when you just started your career?
Can I first say, when you're starting off your career, basically everyone, I think for everyone, when starting off your career, at the beginning, that is when the challenges will be there. The challenges, because to do everything, even the most basic task, will be a challenge because people are not confident to even hand you anything to do.
Yeah.
There's no confidence because with this guy, I can give it to another person that's experienced to do it. So why should I give it to this guy? I think that is also one of the biggest barriers to entry any job. Basically, the fact that you are still you, no matter how much experience you have, as long as they still look at you as a new person.
They prefer people they're familiar with and they already trust.
Exactly. So there is just that challenge of entry, but once they give you that one thing to do, there's always that one thing. They'll give you several things to do, but there will be that one thing that will make you shine.
Okay. This is nice.
That one thing. That one thing that
stories.
I'll be like, okay, I did not expect it from him. The way he pulled it off so quick, the way he did it so well, the way he presented it so perfectly. I wasn't expecting that.
Okay.
But okay, I'm keeping an eye on him. When more of that comes, they start leaning on you more on you for that particular thing. That is when now you have the opportunity to strike gold.
Yeah.
You're like, okay, it's like, come on, it is delivery is good for it when it comes to this aspect. And that's also one thing. Don't try to be everywhere. Don't try to do everything. Don't try to get involved in things that don't concern you.
But sometimes when until you can get me. When they're hungry, have you ever been hungry before?
No.
You just want to get something.
Yeah.
You just want to put yourself.
Yeah.
I don't know if you get my point.
Yeah.
I know you guys have been hungry before.
It's good to be pushed for, but you need to also know the limit. Your limits of how much you can push, and also you also have to know the tolerance of the person you're pushing.
Okay.
Everyone has a breaking point ultimately.
Yeah.
You cannot be coming to me every day asking for the same thing. I mean, after some time, it just becomes nervous. No matter what, no matter the favor. After some point. Be persistent.
He's not saying persistent.
Because coming every day sounds like being persistent to me, right?
Be persistent. But also know how much the limits
to the person.
Because as you get to know somebody, I guess you get to know the person's limits also.
Yeah.
So yeah, basically that's
now let's in the place of challenges, in the same light as far as challenges are concerned. Yeah. Remember how Joseph was in Potiphar's house and then he was framed and stuff like that. Yeah. So when you're framed in the workplace or in a professional milieu, as far as your character is concerned, as far as your goals and visions and values are concerned, how do you overcome something like that?
So, like talking about forgiving people and being betrayed.
Basically, right. I think personally for me, I speak from my point of view. I don't want to generalize from my point of view. If you accuse me of something and I've been done,
kiss
me.
Okay, it's too personal then. And that's something that you can't do. But okay, then obviously bribery or corruption or what?
So I think there's always, I would like to put it down like analysis. I'm an analyst guy, so I'll put it down to okay, has this person been known for doing this? Basically.
Okay.
And I've never kind of put myself in a situation where people even think of him doing that kind of thing. So when somebody will basically say, okay, this guy did this, okay, you first raise the question, well, hold on, this guy,
did he really
do it? I mean, like as you said, Potiphar's wife was framing.
And Joseph had to go to prison for that.
Which
means that it's always worse.
And he stayed there for years.
Yeah.
I think I'll put it out to like this one is my group of some people that just follow everything that they tell them, like Pharaoh just follow everything his wife was telling him.
Yeah.
That sometimes you have to question some basic things, like your wife comes and tell you something. I mean, you have to question.
Yeah.
Your wife had proof. So
because she had
proof.
Yes. But
So it now be a question of man, why do I want to question my life like that?
And in that situation, Potiphar could not see that his wife was lying because he went to be evident. So you want to tell me that I'm lying? So you want to choose Joseph over me? You get, women, right?
True.
Yeah. So I think Joseph just had to take the fall, and most times in our professional life,
and also he ran away. Yes. He ran away, and people will be like, "Why did you run?"
You know that you're innocent.
Yeah. And still talking about that, Joseph he knew that this is the wrong thing to do. I mean, this man has given me everything for me to have his wife. It's a wrong thing to do. And sometimes you might be at work and you might be faced with something like that. How do you handle situations where your integrity is challenged? Where, for example, you choose, I will not tell a lie because I know it's the wrong thing to do. I will not take Potiphar's wife because I know it's the wrong thing to do. I will not cheat another person because I know it's the wrong thing to do. Even though it seems okay, because Potiphar's wife said, I'm just want a fine girl.
Definitely.
And she's not going to tell Potiphar.
Because she's
one Potiphar.
Exactly. And to answer your question, we are ladies. Miss Berry, I'm actually driving this to you. We are ladies and we tend to be, one cute and all of that. And then you get how maybe your supervisor or your boss or wants to do something with you, and then you don't want to because your career is on the line. You start thinking, right, how do you, in that position, what do you do? Remember, if you leave the work, if you say no to the advances, you leave the workplace, the next thing that you're going back to square zero to start back. You understand?
I do understand you do have never had a personal experience that drives towards that angle. But on the general principles of your values, right? I think if you work with integrity, it's going to come across. And as a human resources professional, I would really like to believe that organizations have structures and procedures to investigate grievances. Of course, I'm not idealistic. I don't think that it's perfect. I know that there are institutions where these are non-existent, and you really have to come down to your word or the other person's word. And sadly, like Joseph, many people are going to lose out and maybe right. Yeah. But what drives you? Is it the game? Yeah. I think a few years back when I just came to Yaoundé and I was doing my master's, because I was juggling school and work, and I got this opportunity in a very prestigious organization. It was meant to be a short-term thing, and I did the job quite well. That the person whom I was replacing was away in some maternity leave. Okay. And I got to do the job quite well because she was French speaking, I was English speaking, and the boss was English speaking, which meant that I could produce reports better than she could. And 1 to 3 months down the line, I started getting an offer to permanently replace her. Okay. I will not lie, I needed the money. It was like, I will not lie, that was, for me, that still remains one of my biggest win for me in terms of my values, because I had this offer in front of me. If this was to secure my future, this was money like I had never seen before, and it was at the cost of selling out someone, right? And your mind will rationalize it. I was like, I don't know this lady. It's not that like I met her before I got the job. Okay, she's been doing the job for years, and she's not good at it.
She should have saved up.
I wouldn't lie to you. I took the offer. I sat on that offer for a week or two, and I was doing the pros and cons of it. But the money part of it was very tempting. But at the end, I did not take that offer. Okay. But it's also something the incumbent had actually told me when I started the job. I remember, because it's a multicultural organization, and when I met her for the first time, she said, it's like she almost envisioned that this would happen. She's like, I want to tell you something, you're just starting your career. These people, they come and go, but you see us, the workforce, we stay here. Never sell out your brother in favor of those people, because they would leave and leave you in the dust. Yeah. The new person will come. So at that point, I remember thinking over that, and then my mom, and I raised to my mom, and my mom's like, see, you're able to do this job well. It means you have the skills.
Exactly.
There's something that's going to come for you. This is no jokes. I turned out an opportunity that same week. I got a call from another international organization that I had done something with, saying, "Are you available to do this and this?" And I was like, truly, God does come true.
And it's true. One door closes, another opens.
Don't be too stuck on like your values. See, values are hard, especially in the capitalist economy that we live in. But you really have to have something more than just a love of money to drive you.
So if you have get ready, do you forget to
hold your values?
Hold your values. And there's this thing I heard recently that trust in God no matter what. If there's any consequence, He will take it from you. And like he was just preparing, like just say no to that. I've got this way to do it. Because if you're engaged in that,
which means you have lost it.
Yeah. And I'm sure this other opportunity was better.
Way better. I think it accounts for everything I am today. So.
Wow. That's amazing.
So I want to raise the fact that remember how Joseph left from prison and then he went to meet Pharaoh and then Pharaoh made him the governor. And then fast forward, those his brothers that said he could not amount to anything, that sold him to Egypt after throwing him into the pit, came and he had to forgive them. So I'm thinking in our career and in our professional milieus and trying to be the people that want to be the best that we want to be, it means that in times we have to forgive. Has there been a time when someone has really wronged you, like career-wise? Because I don't want to put career-wise. Yes. Like you feel like this person does not deserve my forgiveness, but because of who I am and because of the values and because of where I see myself going, I have to forgive this person.
I think I've just been quite fortunate in terms of the mentors I have sought out and the support system I've kind of built. Like, that's not to say people have not
been sweet for you.
No, life has been sweet because life has been really hard. There are still days that I go home and I cry, right? But I'm just saying that I've gotten to the point where I am learning, and it's also part of my spiritual growth, learning to not take the things personal. But people would mess you up. People get on your skin. Like, I might sound confident, but I'm still telling you that I still go home some days and I'm like, should I really be doing this? Right? Just because of something someone has said. And for me, again, it's always just going back to who I am. For me, it's always about who you are, where you're coming from, and where you're going to. And what I do in most situations is I read.
Okay, sure.
Obviously, I relate to the fact that she said she second guesses what was. I mean, like,
okay,
it is now. I mean, even up to now. Oh my.
Okay.
We also suffer from some form of imposter syndrome. Mine is a bit higher on perfectionism, which means that almost anything that someone says would scrap at me.
I can relate. It's scrap at me very well.
And then there's the people that are really. It's almost out to. I've had bosses that have been out to get me. It's not even about competence or it's about being. They've been out to get me, and it will mostly come from I have challenged them in something. Because I'm also not someone that just sits back.
I guess that's why you're because
I have my LinkedIn that Getting knows very much. I'm called policy. Yes, I'm the policy implementer. I would tell even the person at the top what they need to hear. I would just say in the right way, in the diplomatic way. But I'm not going to sit back. So it means that I always have retaliations.
And I always forgive more. And she has this phrase, jokes aside. When you hear jokes aside, you know policy is coming. Jokes aside, policy is coming.
But then when you go back home, I read a lot of self-help books, developmental books, and I just get to read.
Human resources is a terrible. It's complicated.
Because no matter what you do, you're still the enemy in someone's eyes. That I could be bringing out the best for you, working, defending you in front of a board of executives. But the outcome is that you will still think human resources.
Let's have that. She doesn't want me to take permission. She doesn't want me to this. She doesn't want me to that.
But then you learn that, and because I tend to read a lot, I also learn how people have coped with it, and I learn a lot of things. This weekend, I learned something about value that from a different perspective that I had not thought about before. I don't know if anyone follows the podcast or Diary of the CEO.
Not yet.
And there's a story. So it's a combination of two major podcasts. This thing, the guy who does Diary of the CEO and Jay, she's this Indian guy that is the biggest podcast in the world. And he was talking about the story about a kid that found a precious stone and run up to his dad and his dad like, okay, I want you to go to the nearest, was it the baker, and try to sell the stone. And the kid runs, right? You know the story, right?
Yes.
Okay, tell the story. She runs to the baker and he says, whatever they ask, when they ask you how much, just put up 2 fingers. And he runs to the baker and he goes, oh, that's a beautiful stone. Yeah, I want to get it. How much do you want for it? And the kid goes, oh, $2. Oh my God. And the kid runs back to his dad. And she said, okay, I want you to go to the nearest pawn shop and do the same thing. And he runs to the pawn shop. I said, oh, an amazing jewel. I want to get it. How much are you giving for it? He goes, and they go, oh, $200.
Which means that they're expecting that too. Okay.
Yeah. He comes back with that says, I want you to go to this renowned jewelry shop and do the same thing. And he runs up. He puts his hand. $2,000. You get the flow. What does that tell you about your value?
I think people
are going to evaluate you from their vintage point, from their personal experiences, and you have to live above that. Okay. Their perspectives are myopic, and you can get sucked in that myopic interpretation of your value. And if they can't see the good in you, that's their fault. That's not yours. Like you should be able to value yourself.
Have the thick skin.
Yes, have a thick skin and value yourself much more than that. If just like the child holding the stone, if you don't know what you're worth, people are going to pay you what they think you're worth.
For example, that $2. So think that the jury was not that
$200. So when people come to me, it's easy for me to forgive because I feel like they're just myopic in their thinking. They have a very narrow worldview. Like they can't see. Like I'm too big for you. Exactly. Or another one that works with you.
Yes,
I'm so if you do me
I'm sorry. I have to.
Another one that works well for me is, and this is like my mantra for almost everything. I see myself like wood or diamond on the rocks, and I see people like sandpaper. What happens to wood and diamond? You're rubbing off the wood from sandpaper. At the end, what's the product? That's a smooth wood, smooth diamond. What happens to the sandpaper? Shriveled, old, shrunken. So whenever you rub on me, I'm like, oh, you're the new sandpaper in my life. The outcome of this is I'm going to be smooth and clean.
Wow.
So let's go around people. I feel like some person is like, oh my God.
Yeah.
So I think that's it for me in dealing with people, and it just, then again, I'm a Christian. When it's more than me, I talk to God and I rant. I don't know about you people, but sometimes I'm fighting with that. I'm like, really? You said all is going to well. You blessed us with everything, and this is what you're giving me. This is the shit you're dishing to me today.
Calm down. Okay, calm down.
I do that genuinely in the most trying times of my life. I've done that. But what I've also done after that is, I really don't believe in just saying, all works for good for those that trust in the Lord. When I'm done with it, I am having a go at God. But when I'm done with that venting, because I vent to God instead of people, I go back to say, you see, Father, you know I'm just a child. Very stupid. I don't know what to give me the strength and the light to accept your own way, because the way this thing is going is not my own. And right now I need your strength. And it actually helps me better than if I had just sat and said, all things work for good for those that trust in the Lord. That one does not work for me, I'll be honest. I have to do that other routines. I feel like people have to find you. That's how you build your own relationship with God. It's not about what I'm telling you about God. You need to get to that point where you build your own personal relationship with God. Understand that this is my Father, my friend, my mentor, my creator, and everything. And you find a way to work with Him for Him to impact you.
Yeah. And do you share the same school of thought when it comes to forgiving people?
Tell us.
I'm just out. I'm a guy. I'll view it from a different perspective.
Okay.
I'll take it
Do you know?
I'll take it from a different perspective.
Okay.
Because I don't know, from since boarding school. I'm a quiet person. I don't.
We can tell.
We cannot really do, but we can tell. Why loud?
I like being in my own place. I like doing my own thing. So forgiving somebody, I mean, I do that like a lot, but then don't take me for granted. That's my issue. Don't just because I dislike 1-2 times, it shouldn't become a habit. If not, it's going to come. The way it comes.
This
Your
is
way.
about quiet people.
How the hell I see what I runs very deep.
No, I'm honest.
Yes, tell us.
Like,
I'm going to forgive you maybe the first couple times if something happened, but then after that, I mean, if it's something that we spoke about, you do this, and I'm like, okay, listen, you did this, I don't really appreciate it. Don't do that again, please. You do it again for the second time,
you forgive.
I'm like, okay, my brother, listen, we did this. This is the second time.
Yeah.
I'm letting it slide again. The third time, that is something else. That means you are doing it intentionally.
Intentionally, yes.
That's true.
Yeah,
because people like to walk on you.
Yeah.
Yes, tell us.
Because I said the third time, but that sometimes mistakes will happen. You have to understand we are all human.
Yeah.
Mistakes happen. That you cannot control when a mistake will happen. So if it's a dumb mistake, you did not really plan for it happening, and it happens, okay, I'm cool with it. I mean, I understand. It's life. I also make mistakes. I'm not perfect.
True.
I'm also hoping that maybe somebody also let me slide.
Yes.
Because maybe I'm walking on somebody's toes and I don't even know the person is letting me slide all along. So yeah, that's my approach also. Fool me once.
Shame on
Is that what? Shame on you. Okay.
Fool me
Twice.
twice.
Shame on me. Okay.
So
Okay.
don't fool me 3 times. Don't be fooling me 3 times.
That's shame on all of us.
All of us that will let it slide.
But Jesus said we should forgive
77 times, 7 times.
Yeah.
So is it like? But he also said you should. What the Bible says, don't spoil the rod and spare the rod and spoil the child. So you should rebuke immediately, so they don't have to. So you forgive, but the rebuking is necessary.
I don't like to in Greenish. I'm trying to talk about it. All those people religion. I mean, I know the Winners Chapel, they pray that they should curse my enemies.
Okay.
God.
Okay.
Okay.
I don't do that. I don't feel wrong for somebody. I just wish everybody the best. Go out there, do the best you can. Do the best you can. If I can help you, I'll be glad to help. I will be glad to help anyone. I always help anyone that comes to me because personally I don't feel like
But okay.
I don't feel like
Yeah.
I mean, everybody needs like some help at some point. Everybody needs that one push that will take them to the other level.
True.
Basically. So if I can be that one person to you that helps you like get to the next point, like I show you that one thing that helps you get you to the other level, I'll do it. That will help you.
Oh, that's great. And that brings us to Joseph, because remember when he was in prison? I mean, that prisoner didn't really help him like that. It was when it was
If I was
needed.
the one to say that, like I'll interpret a dream for you, you go and you don't
forget about
and
me.
it, how dare you? I mean, I'll come and I'm like, I made you who you are.
Because it was not necessary for him anymore, because he was already
Meaning he forgave Potiphar's wife,
yeah.
he forgave
his brothers, and his father. And what he had for them was love. He forgave Potiphar and the was it the wine cellar or the two of them?
One died, well, the one that was killed.
Yeah.
Can I just say God was watching over Joseph?
Yes.
God is watching over us.
Those dudes,
Yeah.
his brothers almost killed him. I mean, if it was some people that would have killed him, like they
Yeah.
would have literally killed him.
Yeah.
So,
And he was with God the whole time. And talking about, you mentioned you would support people whenever you get the chance. Do you have a moment in your life when you really felt like, if not for this person, like if that guy did not remember that Joseph interpreted my dream?
But how can you forget something like that? But okay, they're very wonderful. But okay. Like how can you forget something like that? All right.
So if that guy did not remember that Joseph interpreted his dream, he wouldn't have told the king, and the king wouldn't have summoned Joseph. So have you had, and I know that you're so comfortable helping other people. Have you had a moment in your life where you felt like, if not for this person, this particular person?
Yeah.
You want to tell us?
For me, it's not just one person.
No.
Okay.
So you want to shout out to the people
Of
because
course.
we
I
can
want to
tell us,
shout
right?
Yeah.
And so the first is Joya Junior.
Oh my God.
Oh,
Hi,
hi,
Joya.
Joya.
Hi, Julia.
Shout out, right?
Okay.
He's the one that helped me get the job that I am right now.
Oh my God, that's nice.
Because I told
Hi,
him
Joya.
when I-
Can
when I
I
was
help you?
looking
Because
at
of their help.
Being the
Because of
destiny
his
helper.
help, he's helping.
Yeah.
Like they help us way
Yeah,
around.
it's going well.
He's the one that told me about the opportunity actually.
Okay.
I told him like, okay, bro, I'm down bad like that. He was like, okay, I know of this place. Just do like this. Yeah, that was the first guy.
Mm-hmm.
Then the other guy was Emmanuel.
Okay.
My other guy. It's thanks to him that
Hi,
made
Emmanuel. You want to call it second name?
Emmanuel,
That's
yeah.
Emmanuel.
Emmanuel.
Okay. Hi,
G.
G.
Emmanuel.
Emmanuel.
Watch it.
Okay.
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 Maya was just like that in school, right? In school, I was like, okay, don't give up. Because ACC can be rough like that.
Yeah.
It can be rough like that. So, like on ACC, there's this thing that would say that you don't feel when you fail the exam, you feel when you give up.
Okay.
Because
Okay.
you know that there's going to be.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
You only fail when
When you
you
give up.
give up.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it was like we're always studying. Sometimes we stay so like, hey, just
Wow.
get in there.
Mm-hmm.
That book's strong. Yeah.
That book really strong.
Yeah. Then of course my old people,
Aww.
family, of course.
Thank
Shout
you.
out to the old
The
people.
Foreign family.
The family,
Yeah.
they're always there for me. I mean, support.
So you know, lady, don't woman impact there.
My sister,
I
of
was just
course.
to see your sister in your life.
Of course. I think we already know my sister. I mean,
His sister is my friend and classmate.
So you guys,
That's why I know.
Yeah.
this was
It's
a small
place.
girl.
Yeah. So small.
the
So-
first one I came on source.
Wow.
Okay.
So it means like you guys are like family.
Yeah.
So much like family.
Yeah. It's a family thing, guys.
So you have some. Do you have some people that want to shout out to? I mean, people that have helped you.
Absolutely. My entire life has been about different people opening different doors for me.
Mm-hmm.
Off the top of my head, Fantasy Doni.
Hi,
Doni.
When I was in university, Caroline Zifo, you remember my mother?
Hi, Caroline.
And to the stranger
Okay.
that had me talking about human rights somewhere, saw an advert in a newspaper and reached out to someone to say, I heard your friend talking here and I feel like this opportunity is perfect for her.
Wow.
I cannot remember your name, but I am forever grateful to you.
We're grateful
For the rest
to
of
you.
my life.
We're grateful to
You guys are benefiting.
Right.
You are the benefactor.
Yes, we are.
Yeah.
And to my friends and family, I'm honestly I'm really blessed. I really feel like if I start listing names, we're not going to end.
Yeah.
I have so many amazing friends. They come in all shapes and sizes, and they are just instrumental in their own different ways in my life. I would not be who I am today if it wasn't the sum of all the people in my life. So massive shout out to you.
Shout out. Thank you guys so much for being the great people that we were to their lives. They are blessing us, and we're also going to bless other people. It started with you.
Mm-hmm.
So thank you so much. We also have another question regarding giving back. That's what we want to talk about now. So Joseph, when he became governor, he didn't have a problem with saying fill their camels, we give them plenty of food, and return their money and let them go. Yes, he wanted to create a scenario where they'll come back and stuff like that, but he did give them enough the first and the second time before he revealed
So
himself.
at the whole of all the Israelites,
Exactly.
about 70 plus of them, had to come down to Egypt.
Exactly.
He gave to a whole
He
community.
gave back. This, regardless of what happens, regardless of his experience, he gave back. How do you give back? I know how you give.
I don't know.
I know.
But
I want other people
The audience
to
will
know.
not know.
Yeah. So how do you give back?
How do I give back? I think giving back to me sums up the way I measure success. And for me, success is fulfillment. It's about knowing that I'm able to use my innate talent and ability to help other people develop to who they want to be or who I know they are capable of becoming. Everyone's born with an inner genius, and people just need the right networks, the right mentoring, and the right environment to grow that skill. So for me, giving back is the little input I can put in anyone's life, be it from a smile. A smile goes a long way. It can change the course of someone's day, or maybe just having conversations. I try as much as possible to have conversations with people. I'm always blowing her ear off.
Blow my own ear now.
As soon as I learn something, I want to share it. I want other people to understand the knowledge that's out there, the ability we have as human beings, and most of all, children of God. So for me, that is giving back. And in my vision board, success for me, I would say, is the compound effect of maybe a singular act and the way it ripples through time to ensure that humanity is living in harmony. Even in my lifetime, I can do that for even just one person. I feel like I don't need to, I'm not as big as Joseph. I might not change a nation, but if I can be able to
change one person,
one person, right? And that one person can change one person. And the change one person, you see the compound effect.
Whatever project you shared with her, that she shared with me, and I shared with someone else, so it's already like.
So is it for me, if we can all if I can live in a world where we are all sharing, and that sharing comes from maybe a little conversation I had, or something, or listening ear I gave to someone, that for me, I feel like that's my natural ability and my purpose on earth. And so my existence is giving back both to my creator or to humanity. That's it for me.
That's nice. What about you? How do you give back?
I mean, I will lean very heavily on what you just said.
Okay.
The small things.
It's
Like
the little things.
Yeah.
Big things are small beginnings.
Yeah.
So you don't know, you might not even know your impact to somebody's life.
I think I've tapped from his life.
Yeah.
A lot. So as he's talking about the impact, I'm understanding, I'm relating because I've tapped, not necessarily like I mentioned before, like where I am as far as professional is concerned, career wise, is because of how he helped me, how he put in a word or two for me, how he should no, don't do this like this, do this rather like this. How he's being selfless. So I can relate.
And I also feel like we're all being relatable right now because I tap from her and I share, and you tap from here and you share. I'm just like, I just tapping.
I'm not tapping, so I'm not tapping as well. I think that's just the chill, right?
Yeah. And that's really amazing. We've had such a wonderful conversation. I hope that you enjoyed listening to us. I hope that if you have questions, please feel free, put them in the comment section. We will send your questions to them and they will answer all the questions that you have regarding career and personal development. It's time for us to do some Bible trivia. Okay? Time. There's pineapple be said. I don't get question with no man.
Can you guys imagine the audacity?
Beloved of the Most High, are you ready? Now, microphone. Who wants to go first?
I'll not answer.
So the thing, they say Bible trivia. What is a Bible trivia? Bible trivia is there. It's there. Are you ready? So we'll focus on Genesis. From 37 to 50. Now, Joseph was put in a pit. Whose idea was it that he be taken out? Okay. So Joseph has 11 brothers.
Reuben.
Come on! Let's not link that to Genesis.
No, let's link that to Joseph. Because
I
what about Joseph? Yeah. You come and
Now, this one I don't know the answer, but I'm sure that someone will know the answer somehow.
Someone online.
Someone online, yeah. So in prison, there were two people who had dreams and who told their dreams to Joseph. One was beheaded, the other one was raised. Who are these people? Don't tell me.
The one person they compare.
I know some days only. You know about
if you went to the school, these are the things that they write on the board. Joseph's story is like one of the stories that you first of all.
Okay, now come here.
Okay, no, I'll show you.
What?
Are you sure you're ready for this?
What is the name of Joseph's first son?
Is it
Manasseh?
Yes, it's Manasseh.
I don't know the answer.
I'm not sure. You like this? It has a special Manasseh, but I don't know if it's the first or second.
It's the first son.
Is Manasseh the first son of Joseph?
Maybe you'll read my Bible tonight, then.
Yes, and do comment in the do tell us in the comment section. We're waiting for one more answer. Next question. Are you ready?
Drum roll. This is the last question, right?
Yes. Okay, this is a simple one, right? A simple one. Very simple. Oh my god, it's
Tell us already.
So when the brothers, Joseph's brothers, came to Egypt to get food, there was someone that Joseph kept behind and said, I'll hold this person prisoner until you bring me your papa.
I think that was slowly.
Let's jump in. He was his question. Answer. Why?
I'm not complaining.
Right.
Okay.
So on behalf of Mr. Fon, the answer is Benjamin.
No, one more question.
Oh my God.
For him.
Okay.
So one last question, yeah. And this one, it's about because Jacob and his family moved to Egypt.
Mm-hmm.
What was Jacob's family called when they were in Egypt? Jacob. The Lord changed his name to Israel. So the children of
Okay, the Israelites. The children of Israel.
Israelites.
See, we have one was bastard. We knew the answer.
Israel. So when they moved to Egypt, they were the Israelites. Thank you so much. If you think we didn't answer any questions, or if you have more challenging questions that you like us to answer, not me, because
Directed to them.
Directed to them. I am going to be your coordinator for the question. Okay. Mm-hmm. So if you have more questions,
I'll be
please
co-coordinator.
Yes. Yes,
Just
ask.
Mm-hmm.
But you have
AI is going to be your.
Yeah. So if you have more questions, please feel free to ask about career, personal development, about how, because you remember she mentioned you should not just have the skill, you should know how to project yourself, that people see, how to market yourself, that people see that, hey, you got this. All right. And you should also remember to forgive people.
Very important.
Very important.
So we're wrapping up, right?
Yeah,
We can't wrap up without shouting or shout out,
Yes.
We go, let me position. Okay.
Holy Ghost Studios.
Dr. Fro and T.
Yes. Coco.
Yes, please.
To the makeup.
Oh my gosh. And the hair.
And the hairdo by Coco. So we're gonna add it.
We don't know about the kitchen.
Oh God.
Yes, please.
Okay.
It's okay.
Very delicious. I'm getting hungry now.
Yes, they're nice. It's like.
All right. Thank you so much for watching and stay blessed.
Like, subscribe, do all you need to do, share. Ta-da. Have your podcasters, guys.
Ta-da! Bye!